What it do is K from Intellectual Image back at it again, and here's a photo shoot I did for my friend Ashley over a year ago. So let's get into it. So first I want to get the minor flaws out. I try to get all of the small details taken care of. I like this shoe because they actually brought props, and I'm not at the position or the place at the moment to have a bunch of props like that. Bringing balloons or teddy bears is like such a great thing to do because it adds a little dimension to your images. So here I'm continuing to get all the little stuff off. And now I'm getting to do my frequency separation, getting a little bit of the texture off without ruining the color. Makeup is done very nicely, so I did my best to try to preserve the way that it looked. One thing that I don't like is that little strap right there, and I'm going to take care of that a little bit later. I really like how this looks. I hate my white backdrop because it's so wrinkly, but I took care of that as well. Now I'm going in to try to fix the strap that was showing off of her dress. And it wasn't very hard to do. I used a little bit of a clone stamp tool just so that it would look natural. Then I duplicated this frequency separation skin layer just to get those wrinkles out of the background. And what I did is just continue to hit Gaussian blur just to blur those wrinkles out. You see how the wrinkles are like no longer there, and they're like fading away pretty nicely. And I did the same thing to both sides, and I also did it to make it like a smoother color just all around. I believe my setup, I had some video lights facing towards the background as well, just to keep it bright. I probably didn't need that, but it was beneficial for me to do. So now here I am on the skin layer again, and I'm using the lasso tool to trace around the body just to make the skin a little bit more even tone, and I did that by doing a Gaussian blur again. And so, you know, that makes the skin look a bit more even tone. I did that on the arms, and sometimes it doesn't look right, so I have to make sure that I make it in smaller sections. So here, that worked pretty well, but sometimes like the armpit can get pretty dark because they're taking averages, so I try to make sure that I'm getting the right selected area. So this turned out pretty well. I probably didn't have to do all this, but I wanted to make sure that I got a very unique look from this. I wanted to take my time on this and do all that I could to make this a very good photo. I think I was doing all of this with the mouse too. I do have a Wacom tablet, but I lost the pen, so I think I should just buy another one. But my mouse skills are superb, if you haven't noticed. And right now, what am I doing? I'm bringing back the texture a little bit in the body and in the skin. Yeah. And I can't really tell. I think I'm lowering the opacity. So yeah, that's what I did. I lowered the opacity, set the blending mode to linear light, just so it can kind of, you know, put a little bit of the texture in the background. You feel me saying? I'm trying to get rid of that texture so you look like you glowing a little bit, glowing. My editing skills have improved vastly since then, but I still feel like I did a wonderful job with this image. And my computer about to die in a little bit, but y'all about to see I handled that problem. Right now I'm working on the wrinkles in the background still, because I still feel like I see it every time I zoom out. I don't know if I go back and make sure that that's completely white, even though I should have. Um, but that's just a minor mistake. And I took this video over a year ago. I took these photos over a year ago, and I did what I could, the best that I thought I was capable of. I would go back and change up all those balloons and make sure they all look like they're straight out of a movie or something. I wouldn't have all those reflections in there. So here I'm using the lasso tool to get all the flyaways away. So it takes a little while because you don't want to kind of mess up. So I'm just getting a general area and then I'm painting it in with the background color. I'm using the the dropper tool. I always call it the I tool because you press the shortcut I. But yeah, this is a dropper tool to get the same color as the background. You know, your hair gets a little frizzy sometimes, so you gotta, get rid of it. So I did it in a smaller opacity just so it looked natural. And right there, I seen that I had a little extra weird color right there, but I didn't. Yes, I didn't notice it at the time. But I'm glad that I'm getting a chance to go back and look at it now to see what I could have improved. And I think that's one of the best things about being a photographer. You go back and you see what you used to do and you figure out, you change things, you add things to your process, and you just become a better photographer out of it in the end. So practice does make style. I'm not going to say practice makes perfect, but practice does create your own style. And I definitely live by that. And to each his own, but this is what I do. So here's the final product. You can see that the background is a little bit more smooth, and I try to do my little thing, you feel me? And so here I will show you how they look side by side. And I use Lightroom and Photoshop. So you look at the legs, the color is more even. There's still texture there. There are not many blemishes at all. On the arms, I got rid of that thing on her dress, but I still see that it's not super clean, but it is not noticeable from far away at all. The face is flawless. She already looked great. Made sure her skin was a little bit more smoother. And you can see right here, all of those wrinkles are near gone. I could have done a better job on the background, making sure that it was completely white. But thank you guys for watching. Leave some opinions in the comments and see y'all later.